Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Barbie's Diary. I greet especially all the wonderful people of Barbie's Diary. Tell me about yourself. Is your elevator pitch? This should be what if you meet Dangote, Aliko Dangote, or Femi Otedola, or Elon Musk in an elevator, and he asks, or you need to pitch yourself to him. You should be able to say that in 1-2, because the elevator is like, you know how elevators go now. In seconds, they are out of the elevator, and that's your only chance to have that conversation. Will you go and be saying, I'm married with 5 kids? No. You highlight the immediate things that are relevant first. Let it be rich. Let it be spicy. Let it be sweet. Let them say, oh, wow, that's quite a profile. Okay, let's talk about answering questions at your interview. So sometimes they ask you to tell them a story, and some of these stories, I've gone to one. Hey, even when I was saying this story, I'm like, Barbara, you must be a storyteller, because sometimes the stories they ask you, sometimes you have to mix fiction with reality for it to make sense. Understand the question. If you don't understand the question you were asked, not to say you cannot ask them to take it again. Would you please take the question again so I can have a better understanding? It's better than you just fumbling and then they now say, oh, it looks like you did not hear our question. I don't know if you get this. Another popular question, tell me about your strength or your weakness. Say when you had to deal with an erratic customer. All of those are popular questions, right? So prepare for all those things. And for your weaknesses, don't come and say, my weaknesses are I don't like to work home. So sometimes I get tired and I want to just go home and I run away from the office. So you have to highlight a weakness that that is a weakness, but you also have to give us how you are trying to surmount that weakness. So let me give you an example. Barbara, can you please tell us about your weaknesses? Okay, so I'll say, this is a very difficult question, but I would like to say that I am a perfectionist. I love to ensure that everything is done perfectly well. I do not like errors, and sometimes this might slow down my work. So the ways in which I try to ensure that this doesn't affect the work or the team is to ensure that I get the work done on time, and then I can give my team members to scrutinize or to criticize or to check out for the errors, and that way I do not spend the entire day trying to make things perfect. I do what I need to do, and then I give someone else to proofread or to critique and then get back to me. So that way I have said that my weakness is perfection, which is not in itself a weakness. It's like, okay, neither here or there. I mean, is in this work we do not like errors too, so you fit in. And then I've also said how I've tried to solve that weakness. I've also in that same vein mentioned that I love teamwork. I am not too proud to not allow members of my team to scrutinize my work or to critique my work and then get back to me. So that way I save time rather than just try to make everything perfect. I do it, I give to others to review. It saves time. I've spoken about perfection, which is not such a bad weakness in itself. I've spoken about team spirit, because I let people critique my work. I've also saved time, because instead of doing everything by myself and slowing down the pace of the work, I let somebody else do it and get back to me. So in all of these things I've done, spoken about 3 beautiful things. Do you understand? So that's how you speak about your weaknesses. My weakness is sometimes, because I love to do a lot. I love to do a lot of things by myself. So at the end, and that's my slow down the work. So what I do now is I have a to-do list where I try to prioritize, and then I also delegate to other people. So that's the weakness. As in, it's not a bad thing that you love to do everything yourself, but in the work environment, you know that this might slow down the pace of work. So you delegate, which is a good thing for a leader. You should be able to learn how to give out or build future leader. So you delegate businesses, and then you also get feedback. Some other questions that you may ask you: how are you suitable for this role? In this particular question, I believe that you should have done your research well. When they ask that question, think of what you are bringing to the table, what the company currently lacks, the gap they intend to fill. Because if there's no gap, they will not be doing that. They're not calling you to come and dance. It's work. They're calling you to come and work. So you need to, ensure that you are speaking to what you are bringing to the table. Okay, because I have noticed that you do not have this requirements, you do not have this skill. That is what I am bringing to the table. So you need to show that it is you that they need in their employment. Okay, so marry those three together. How you're better suited for the role. I've had people come in and you ask basic questions like, how are you suited for this role? Why do you think you are the best man for this job? And they are fumbling up and down. No, just bear in mind these three things. Your qualifications now, what you have, what you're bringing to the table, qualifications and experience and all of those things. Know your numbers. Secondly, know the gap in the company now. Oh, I noticed that the company doesn't have, and this is why then know the company for itself. So know what the company is about. So those three things: know what the company is about, know what the company lacks, which you are bringing to the table, then know your own personal numbers, what you are bringing to the table, and marry these three together, and you will ace this question. This question, do you have any question for us, is your shine question. So if they've dealt with you in this interview, this is your time to deal with them. And I kid you not, this is your time to deal with them. So do you have any question for us? Yes, I do. And please, this is not your time to start asking, do you give what are your benefits in this company? Do they allow 1 hour break in this company, or will they give me leave allowance? All those stuff. This is not your time. This is your time to ask meaty questions, the questions that will shake the panel, that they will know that you are serious about your business. So this is why when you recall I said sometime in this conversation that an interview is a two-way street, and this is where the roles have now shifted. So you have become the interviewer, and the other guys on the other end, which are your panel members, are now the interviewees. So you are the one asking them the question now. So you see that during the interview, at some point, the mantle is on you, and you can destroy them in that and make them feel like they themselves don't even know what they are doing. No, don't go and overdo you. Don't go and I did not send you that one. No. Okay, so this is your time to shine, basically. Please, when you go for interviews, never say you do not have any questions for them. Please. I know they are praying that you don't have questions for them, but please have questions for them. To be honest, sometimes, especially when I sit on panel as the HR, in my mind, I'm praying to God that you will not have question for me, to be honest with you. And that is the case with just know that is at least the feeling of most people on the panel. They are praying that you do not have questions for them. So when you say that you help my work, but you've not helped yourself, that's the truth. So you should ask me questions. Shake. And I say so with all humility, that I have been on panels whereby the interviewee asked me questions that ruffled my feathers, that ruffled my colors, asked me questions that the first 3 seconds I was battling to know where to start from. Yes, and I'm serious. I'll be wrong to say otherwise. I have been in it, but I think after that they now said, okay. I'm also coming for the interview prepared for you too. So if you want to ask me a question, I'm ready for you. Okay, but I think in the early years when I joined HR and I had to sit on panel, when they asked the question and they said, okay, so the HR BP would respond to the question. I'm like, you say, And for the first 3 seconds, 5 seconds, I was trying to get myself together. So yes, so this is your time to shine. Ask good questions. There are a lot of questions. There was an interview I went for. At the beginning of the interview, I already knew the question I was going to ask them that will make them know that this girl is a serious girl. So when we got to that point and they asked, what would you like to, do you have any questions? I said, yes, I do. I think I had 3 questions for them. Yes, I think I can't remember all the questions, but I know one of the questions was, so I want to know how long you've worked for the company and what has been the driving force for you. Yes, so tell me, because if I'm hoping to come and join you, I need to know that I'm not working on muddy waters. And the person literally said, oh, that is a beautiful question. Another question I've asked, it will be important for me to know the team I get to work with. So is it a one-man team? How many are they? What are the prospects of growth? Yeah, so you're talking in terms of trainings, development, and even the allowance for you to train yourself. Salary questions. Let's discuss salary questions. So for salary questions, I know that most times they will now ask you, so what's your salary expectation for the role? And sometimes they will ask you where you're coming from, what do you currently earn? So sometimes give your figures. I'm not here to tell you that be humble about it. No, if you believe you're worth it, please say it. That's why I say ask. Tell them this is what you believe you deserve. Don't be humble about it. So if you think you are worth that amount, say it, and obviously tell them why you're worth it. So even if sometimes life happens to people, so because perhaps there was no job or they needed to just get into the workspace, they accept some kind of figures, right? In that instance, please, if you are now in the workplace and you get an opportunity to interview somewhere else, and you're asking for triple or times 10 of that amount, and somebody is saying, why do you want this amount? After all, you are coming from somewhere that they are paying you 200k. Why are you asking for net of 700k now? Justify it and let them know why, and say, oh, you took up that position for so reason, but you took it because perhaps you needed to get into the scheme of things again. Now you are in the scheme of things again. You deserve better, and that is why you are interviewing for this position. And you give them the reasons with figures. That's why I say know your numbers. When you're coming for an interview, know your numbers. Give a range. I would not say just come here and say I want 700k. So you should be able to say I'm open to. I know you have your structure, I know you have your pay for that level, but my expectation, that's why it's an expectation. The expectation for that position is between 700 to 1 million net. Give them a range so they know where to dance around, okay? And then if you're open to negotiation, which most likely you should be, that's why you should give a range that is flexible, right? Because once you are keen on 500k, if they don't have 500k, they will not call you back. But if you dance around, you're open between 400 to 500, then they know that they can play within that space. You really did enjoy this session. This is the part 2 of our career series. Recall that we've spoken about how to build a professional CV, how to write a professional CV. And right now we just discussed interviews and interview tips. I know that we have not exhausted everything in this space, and I'm so sorry that we might have to, call it a day right now. But if you have more questions for me, please ask in the comment section. It would be nice to engage me there. I'll be willing to respond to questions, your interview questions, and areas which you feel I did not exhaust in this conversation. If you have also, it doesn't have to be questions. If you even have comments, or if you think you have a contrary view to what I have said on this interview series, please let me know. It'd be nice to hear what you think about all of these things too. If there's anything particularly that I have said on this clip that resonates so well with you, if there's anything you've learned, please also let me know. I'll be happy to read all of these things in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I'm so happy I get to do this. It has always been in my mind for the longest time to have this conversation with people, and I'm happy that I have a platform now where I can discuss these things. And I'm so happy that I particularly get to touch the life of newbies into the career space, and you must get it right from the first day. Next time we'll be talking about offer, negotiation, acceptance, and everything within that space. So you've done this interview, the panel thinks you are the best thing after sliced bread, and so they are ready to give you an offer and negotiation and acceptance. So we'll discuss all of this in our next series. Like I said, if you've loved this video, please share with your family and friends, everybody that you know need it. The person must not be actively looking for a job now, but the person would learn a thing or two from what we have discussed today. So please share this video with them. Invite them to also join this beautiful channel that we're building. And yes, it hurts to say bye right now because I've loved and enjoyed speaking to you guys today. But then every good thing must come to an end, right? Especially when it's on YouTube. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the love. Please give this video a thumbs up if you have loved all we've talked about today. Don't forget to also subscribe, like, invite others to do so, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you and have a nice day. God bless you. Bye.